So we're here with head coach Zach Smith for the men's and women's golf team. Zach, how are you doing?
Jamie, how are you?
Not bad, thank you.
Good.
So just to kind of start off the interview, how's it feel to be back? How's it feel to have all your golfers back?
Great. I mean, I usually mid-July start to get excited to have everybody, and it's just I love doing this, especially when we get into the season. It's awesome. I mean, we don't have a huge build-up to 2 weeks, I guess, before we started tournaments, but I love being around the players. I mean, that's why we all kind of do this deal and the relationships that we have and build. I'm super excited. I'm glad we're rolling.
And kind of touching on that a little bit, it's been about a month since all of your golfers have been back. How do you feel like the team's shaping up?
Great. We're off to a good start, and I mean, I was excited coming in. I think the recruiting went well for this incoming year. The players returning, both the girls and the guys. With this being the second year with the girls program, I think that it was fun to build that first team, but just take some of the momentum that the first year's team did last year and really build on that. So again, off to a great start, and can't wait to keep this thing going.
And just run me through a little bit. Obviously, we're a couple of weeks deep now into the season, but just before the season started, what did you do with your team to kind of make them ready?
We do a lot of qualifying. So I mean, I call it kind of the mega qualifier, that first tournament, which just happened to be home this year. So we played, I don't know, 100 holes probably to see who was going to be the top five. The next five with the guys, and then the 11th guy as the individual. Then the top five with the girls, and then the next three individuals with the girls. So just a lot of golf. Part of that is, and let's go into obviously here in Cottonwood, going over to Gehring, to Monument, eating, just building a team outside of golf, and trying to get to know people, both as the coach and how to work with students, but also. Obviously within the team, just people wanting to be around each other and building on that. So we played a lot of golf, I guess, is the main answer.
And you were saying about the fact that your first tournament was at home. You had quite a big qualifier for that. Just run me through kind of how that first tournament went from your perspective.
Good. We had again made the mega qualifier. I think it was a good. The 5 players on both the men's and women's team for kind of the A team, so to speak, for that first tournament. Really proud of the way everybody played, both the men's and women's team won. And then we got an individual win from Sarah, freshman from Germany on the girls' side. She played awesome. And then a guy named Jamie Lambert won individual for the men, which I was super excited. I mean, I said this in the press release, especially for you. Getting that first win, having played the best, by far as a Lancer, and really dominated the field. I mean, that was awesome, and just felt good. Again, I like being out. There's not a lot of other things in the world that I like to do. Hopefully you guys see that. Like when we're at a tournament, it's not a lot of other places I'd like to be. With my kids, maybe somewhere doing something fun. But other than that, I freaking love it. And that first week was a great example of that.
And then obviously last week went to Riverton, played at Central's Invite. Talk me through that, how that went.
Great. So I mean, the nice thing so far with both of these teams, we'll be getting off to a relatively quick start. I think there's things to improve on, and of course everybody kind of has times where they think that we're not getting off to a great start, but it's staying the course, being patient, and just playing the full day. I mean, as you well know, golf, 18 holes is a marathon, not a sprint, and a lot of things can get better or can continue to get worse if you let it. And so, but again, got off to a good start in Riverton. Oddly enough, I mean, it's been great here in Torrington weather-wise, and our first day of our tournament was just out of nowhere, really windy. Same thing with Riverton, but then the next day, the second day at Riverton, just like ours, was really calm and just led to being a more scoreable day. And I think the team, for the most part, took advantage of that.
And just kind of touching on looking towards the rest of the fall season, who do you think are some players that perhaps the community can look out for, and what are your main expectations?
Yeah, just continue to get better, continue to work hard. I mean, I think that is one of the things I like about, like I was talking with Jess last night, last night, and she coming out of our practice on Sunday, she was like, I'm not hitting 60 to 80 yards very well, So she said, this was Monday night, so it must have been Sunday night. I think she went in. Yeah, she did. So we had our practice, and I think she came back to Cottonwood and worked extensively on that, And I think just to continue to be hungry. She's coming off a win, but just knows and what she can do. Expects a lot out of herself. So I think that's those are some things that we need to do: is stay hungry and just keep after it. I think we know that there's some good players, some good teams in the region. So we just need to, as a team, need to keep working on that. I'd say the other thing with both teams, is kind of answering the other part of your question, is like, who are we looking for? Who the community look out for? And I'd say everybody. With the girls, top to bottom, I think everybody can have a great tournament. I think Maddie will get one this year. I mean, she's been right there. I think she got maybe third again this week, or right there. Obviously Ellie. I mean, so many people, Bailey, all of them. Georgie. I don't want to leave anybody out. Everybody can play. Sarah and Jess getting their wins. I see, Maddie she's been kind of the closest scoring average-wise to be the next one. But same thing with the guys. I mean, talk about a balanced squad, and any guy can go from, like, right now. I mean, there's guys that didn't qualify in the top 5 the first 2 weeks, and they are sitting in the top 5, at least going into the final day qualifying. So I think just got a lot of good players, a lot of good guys, a lot of good girls, just a lot of just good people, and which I think is so important to our program to watch out for this year.
And from a personal note, as the coach, what are your main goals for the year? I know obviously you'll want to go to the national tournament. I think we've had that off of every coach, but what is your expectation kind of going into those bigger tournaments?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it'll be 100% a letdown if the guys were to if we weren't to get there again. I fully expect. I mean, especially knowing you guys, knowing what we have, we're very capable, and I hope or expect to do that. That's a goal of ours, is to make it to the national championship. How do you get there? You play well, you work hard all season, but you got to do it at the district tournament is the bottom line. And we actually still don't, we haven't locked in that location yet. So, but confident. I think the top 3 teams, maybe 3 or 4 teams from the district can go, and I think we've proven that we are that team, and but we've got a lot of golf yet to do this year, so we'll see. But confident in the guys on that. And then with the girls, we were in the driver's seat to win the region last year and didn't. There's not a whole lot of days that go by that I don't think about that to this day. But it just because the girls, they worked hard. We'd won so many tournaments and played so well, and kind of just laid a little bit of an egg, and we're all aware of that at last year's districts. I think we've got a little bit of a chip on our shoulder for this year and moving into this year's districts. But I think the expectations, kind of going back to answering your question, and the goal is for the girls to win their region, guys to win their region, compete to win the district championship as well, and move on to the national championship, of which both, oddly enough, for 2 years in a row, are both going to be in Kansas. I know the guys are in Newton, Kansas again at Sand Creek Station, and then I think the girls are at the national championship is in Dodge City, Kansas, I believe, this year, which is down the road from Garden City where they were last year, but pretty sure it's in Dodge City this year.
And going back to Sand Creek Station, obviously with last year, the boys tried their best, didn't quite pull it off. Just talk me through kind of your feelings on that.
Yeah, I just mentioned that there's not a lot of days I don't think about the girls district championship. There are no days I don't think about the guys national championship. We just, man, what a good team. I mean, we set all kinds of or team records. Actually, set some course records with Titan, doing some different things, and just didn't have our national championship that we've had the last several years. I just to this day is kind of a mystery on kind of how we let it go a little bit, but this course is interesting. It's helped us. We've had our best finish ever, which was 10th in the nation at the national championship, and then last year when we had arguably one of our best, at least on paper, probably our best team, just because of the scores we put together, and just struggled. So, and again, just a bunch of sophomores, and broke my heart because I had some really close, still have a really close relationship with those guys. And that's the tough thing is like, all right, we didn't have our best tournament, but, for me, you want it for those guys, who've worked really hard for 2 years. And, and it's one tournament. It doesn't define any of those guys, but it still hurts. So, but it's a good track. It's a challenge. I mean, it is a golf. You need to play some really good golf there. And we are going to go to the national preview in late October again this year. So this year's squad will see it, get an idea for what it's like. I mean, it's not scary. No monsters are coming out of the Blue Lagoon or anything like that. It's a golf course, and it's a nice community. So anxious to see what we can do this end of this October.
Coach, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, bud.